Good afternoon, grade 12s. I'm Mrs. Wessels from Unisie High School in Bloemfontein. Welcome to the lesson. Today I'm going to do bank recon, I'm going to do creditors recon, and I'm going to do VAT. So please bear with me. It's a lot of information. It's not difficult topics. I'm sure that you are okay with it, but just let's go through everything, just revise a few things, and then I really hope that you're going to enjoy it. I'm going to start with a bank reconciliation question from Mpumalanga, September 2017. It is the information related to bull suppliers. When we do bank recon, it's very, very important to know that they can ask you different things. They can ask you, like this answering paper. On this answering paper, you've got a CRJ and a CPJ. There's your CRJ and your CPJ. They normally ask a bank account. They didn't ask a bank account in this case, so we are going to do a bank account, but they don't ask it, and then they ask the bank reconciliation statement. Remember, this is grade 11 work. So in grade 12, they still want you to do it, but it's not, they don't ask it so in detail anymore. So they're not going to ask you a whole cash receipts journal for 20 marks and a CPJ cash payments journal for 20 marks. They don't do that anymore, but they still ask you bank recon. Sometimes they make it a little bit tricky. This one is not tricky, but remember that you must just stick to the basics, stick to your basics. What is the basics of bank reconciliation statement? The basics are that we have our books, and we've got the books of the bank. We've got our books, and in our books we've got the bank account, and on that bank account we write bank on top, whatever the name of the bank is, ABC Bank, for example, and we do all the receipts on the debit side and all the payments on the credit side. In the banks, in the books of the bank, there is a bank statement, and the bank statement looks like this, and our name is there. For example, we are XYZ suppliers. And on that bank statement, it's a minus plus. It's a creditor. We are a creditor. Okay, so now think about it. If you've got 30,000 Rand in the bank, it means that the bank owes us 30,000 Rand. That is why the bank is a debtor. That is why the bank is an asset. He is a debtor, he's an asset for the business. He is an asset for the business. That's why it's plus minus. If the bank look at us and the bank say, we owe the business 30,000 Rand, that's why we become a creditor. We become a creditor to the bank. And that's why it is a creditor's ledger, a plus minus. So the balance of 30,000 is there on the debit side. The balance will be there, and whatever you put there will make it less, and whatever you put there will make it more. So that is the basic. So what do? We compare. In grade 12, they're never going to ask you to compare. Not to compare and tick, tick, tick the whole time. They're going to give you information. What are they going to give you? They give you the bank reconciliation statement of the previous month. That is the first thing that they will give you. Then they will say that you've got the CRJ and you've got the CPJ, and you've got totals for the CRJ and the CPJ. And then they will say that you've got the bank statement. Let's say this was July, then this is for August, and this is your bank statement for August, and then they will give you information. They will tell you what is not there, what is where, and then you must work from there. So I've got the thing that I've got here. The first question was to show the entries that must be recorded in the cash journals by completing the table. Prepare the bank reconciliation statement, and then we will come back to 2.1.3. There is our bank reconciliation statement of the previous month. This one. Bank reconciliation statement of the previous month. If you look at that bank reconciliation statement, you must know what is going to happen with what. So there is my bank reconciliation statement of the previous month. Okay. The first balance, favorable balance. Okay. First thing that you must see this was on the 30th of June. And we work now in July. So we are working in July now. And that was for June. So that means that that was the bank reconciliation statement of the previous month. So what are we doing with this? We check. We basically ask, are these things on the bank statement? That is what we are asking. Are these things on the bank statement? Okay, the first one you're never going to use. Scratch that one out. 18450 you're not going to use. The two deposits, you check if it is on the... it is in the CRJ for June. Remember, it's in the CRJ for June. And we are going to see, is it on the bank statement or not? The checks are in the CPJ, already in the CPJ. Whatever CPJ may be last month, you can also see there's a January one there. There's a January one there. So that one is in the CPJ for January. And we ask, is it through the bank statement? And this one we are going to start a bank account. So that last one, you're going to do a bank account, and you're going to say, they say favorable balance. So you will say July 2017, the first, because that was the 30th of June, balance brought down 30975. That is what you do with that balance. Okay. Now we are going to read check number 502. If they give you that January, you can see that it was long ago. Then you count February, March, April, May, June, July. In July, it's 6 months old. And the check that is 6 months old is stale. So that check is stale. So what do you do with a stale check? You cancel the stale check in the CRJ because it was written out in the CPJ. Check number 502 was issued to the running club as a donation. The club forgot to cash the check. Bull Supplies issued a new check, number 658, on the 31st of July to them for a donation of 6,000 Rand. So that one we must cancel. And where do we cancel it? In the CRJ. So we go to the CRJ. We write there donations. And you're more than welcome to write the check number in brackets if you want to. If that helps you a little bit, then you can do that. 502. The check was written out for 4,800 Rand, so we cancel it for 4,800 Rand. There is the 4,800 Rand. And then immediately we write out the new check. Also for a donation. For a donation, the new check number is 658. The new amount is 6,000 Rand, 6,000 Rand. And then we put it there. I just put it there, 658, just for myself, so that I don't forget about the new check. Because remember, a new check written out is not through the bank, it's not on the bank statement, so it's even not in our books. So first we put it in our books in the CPJ, then we show it in the bank recon as outstanding. On the 31st of July, the provisional totals for this cash journals were as follows. Don't forget about it. Don't forget to add it whenever you do your bank recon at the end, when you add your columns. On comparing the July bank statement received from Sure Bank with the bank reconciliation statement of June, the one that we've got in front of us, this one that we've got in front of us. Remember, if you're done with number 502, you tick that one because you're done with that one. The following were noted. The outstanding deposit appeared on the bank statement. Thank you very much. 12675, that is on the bank statement, so we tick that one. Check number 614 for 6950 was presented for payment, so we tick that one. Check number 502 and 613 do not appear on the bank statement. We already did something with 502, that one was stale. So what I can see is left is this deposit is not on the bank statement. And this check, they mentioned 613 is not on the bank statement. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through it. That one we ignore. That one is not on the bank statement. This one they mention is on the bank statement. That one became stale and we already cancel it. That one is not on the bank statement. This one is on the bank statement, we tick it, and that one we open our bank account. So with the 25,000, I'm not going to do anything now. I'm going to see what happens, but the 613 is your first check on your bank reconciliation statement. This is your first outstanding check on your bank reconciliation statement, number 613, and the amount was 13,400 Rand. 13,400 Rand, debit outstanding checks. The outstanding deposit of 25,000 Rand does not appear on the bank statement for July. An investigation revealed that this money was never deposited. The cashier cannot account for the cash. This is fraud. Can I quickly ask you, where does that 25,000 came from? It came from the CRJ in June. Remember, deposits must go to the bank as quickly as possible. That one was already deposited on the 25th of June. We are now at the end of July and it's not on the bank statement yet. So there's a problem there. It's fraud, but we cannot do anything now. The fact is, it is in the CRJ in June. We don't receive the money. It will not came from wherever, so we must cancel it in our CPJ. Normally, we've got information, but in this case, we're only going to write deposit. Deposit, and we cancel it 25,000 Rand. 25,000 Rand. The following items appeared only on the bank statement for July. Bank charges. Remember, if it's only on the bank statement, it means it's not in our books. 1425. 1425. Interest on favorable bank balance is interest in the CRJ. Interest on current account. Interest on current account. And that gives us 145 Rand in the CRJ. A direct deposit of 6250 from a tenant. So that one is rent income. Direct deposit means it's already on the bank statement, but not in our books. So we put the direct deposit there, 6250. A debit order of 1850 for the monthly insurance appeared twice on the bank statement. So that means that they subtract 1850, which is the normal insurance. I'm going to put it there. I think my lines are not enough, but there's the normal insurance of 1850. And then they say, they put it twice on the bank statement. We cannot put it twice in our CPJ because that is not the real situation. So the bank will rectify this on the bank statement next month. So it's normally there will be a space there for it. Credit, okay, remember, this is minus, this is plus. The fact that they subtract the insurance twice means that they minus that amount. So you can say credit, incorrect debit, or you can say insurance whatever, it's not a clear fact what you must write there, but as long as you see that they subtract 1850 twice. The first one we put there in our CPJ, and the second one we are going to put back. We put the money back. They must rectify the problem. Check number 633, issued for trading stock, appeared correctly on the bank statement. The cash journal was too little. Too little. Sorry, I haven't got enough space there. I'm going to write the trading stock. And then we must do a calculation to see what is the difference. Why do we put it in the CPJ? Because our journal was too little. So we say the correct amount was 6230. 6230 minus 2630. So we short 3,600 Rand in the CPJ. 3,600 Rand in the CPJ. A check dated, post-dated, a check post-dated for August, remember we are in July, was received from a debtor. Post-dated check received. Most of you will think of putting that check in the CRJ. Don't do it. A check that's post-dated that we received must be put in a safe place until the 12th of August. You cannot take it to the bank. The bank will order the check because of the date. So you cannot take it to the bank. You just show it. You just leave it alone, put it in a safe place, and please don't show it. The following entries were in the cash journals for July only. Cash journals only. That one was on the bank statement. Only on the bank statement. So if it's only on the bank statement, we took it to our books. If it is in the cash journals only, then we take it to the recon. We take it to the recon. So the deposit, we will say credit outstanding deposit, 10,000 Rand. And then check number 652. Remember the checks must be in order, so it's 652. The amount is 5650. That one was dated in July. And then there's a post-dated check issued. That is a post-dated check issued. What is the difference between a post-dated check received? The one that we received in F, we're not allowed to do anything. We put it in a safe place until the 12th of August. Then we can put it in the CRJ. Then we can take it to the bank. A post-dated check that is issued, you put immediately in the CPJ. Because if you don't put it in the CPJ, then the number order is wrong. You put it in the CPJ, then it goes to the bank recon as outstanding. Check number 655 as outstanding for until the 18th of August and another 6 months after that, and the amount is 1443. 1443. Now remember the new check number 658. Remember that donation check there, the donation check for 6,000 Rand. He will always count 2 marks because it is a new check that we must add in there. That one will also count 2 marks because that one comes from the previous bank reconciliation statement. The bank shows a favorable balance. Where is the favorable balance? It's credit. I want you to put the credit balance as per bank statement. So a favorable is on the credit side, 43210. 43210. And then we are looking for the bank account. And then we must just quickly do the totals on top. 510,607 plus 4,800 plus 145 plus 6250, and that equals to 521802. 521802. On that side, I've got 486,335 plus the new check, plus the 25,000 deposit that we are busy cancelling. Remember, not a good thing, but we cannot do anything else. 1425, bank charges, insurance, only one insurance, 1850. and the mistake that was made, and that gives us 524210. 524210 is the total there. Now I prefer to go back to my bank account. Okay, no, let's not do it because they don't ask it. I will come back later. Now you can see that we don't have a bank account balance. We are so used to a bank account balance. So what you do now, you add the biggest side, that is the credit side, 43210, plus the 10,000 plus the 1850, that gives us 55060. 55060. Then you go to the debit side, you minus the 13,400, you minus the 5650, minus 1443, and you minus 6,000, and that gives you 28567. 28567, because the 55060 is standing there. Then you say this is a debit balance. I prefer that you say debit and credit. A debit balance as per bank account. Okay, the problem is that you don't know if you are correct, so I'm going to quickly check us by taking my bank account and add on the 30th of July total receipts from the CRJ, that was 521802. And then 2017, July the 31st, the 31st, total payments on the credit side, CPJ, and that gives us 524210. So I just do roughly my own bank account just to see if my bank recon is correct. On the debit side, I've got 30975 plus 521802. That gives me 552777. 552777. When we put the 552777 there, minus 524210. That gives me 28567, 28567, and that was exactly the same amount on the debit side, which is 100% correct because this balance is balance carried down. Then you say August the 1st, balance brought down, 28567, and it is this balance. You don't turn it around, it is that balance that goes to your bank reconciliation statement on the debit side. So we check quickly, the bank recon is 100% correct because the balance that we calculated there is exactly the same balance as in my bank account that I did by myself. Now the question is 2.1.3. Okay, we are done with all the information there. We can quickly go back to that one question there. They say, as the internal auditor, you are not happy with the manner in which cash is being controlled in this business. Identify 2 problems, quote figures to support your answer. Identify 2 problems, and then give advice on how each of these problems can be avoided in future. I think the biggest problem is the 25,000 Rand that's missing. 25,000 Rand that's missing. That is the first problem there. So they will give you 1 mark for the problem and 1 mark for the amount. And the next problem, if you look at your bank recon of the previous month, is that the 12675, which was dated, the deposit was already in the CRJ on the 10th of June, and it only appeared on the bank recon it was at the end of June, on that day, on the 30th of June. That deposit was not in the bank yet. It was in the CRJ, but it was not on the bank statement. So my question is, what happened from the 10th of June until the 30th of June, so that it only appears in July? Also, the the deposit of 10,000 Rand that for this year, look at that date, it was already in the CRJ on the 24th of July, in the CRJ, but at the end of July, it's not on the bank statement. So it means that the deposits, I'm not talking about the 25,000, the 25,000 never get to the bank, that is gone missing. But the other deposits took a long time to get to the bank statement. That we can say is maybe rolling off cash. For rolling off cash, they will give you one mark. You must say the 12 is only deposited in July, and this 10,000 is still not deposited, and that 10,000 was already in our books on the 24th of July 2020. In what year are we here? 2017. It was already in the CRJ. It was already in the CRJ on the 24th of July. So rolling off cash. What is the meaning of rolling off cash? It means that a person receives the money and they decide, oh, they need a little bit of money for the next 5 days. Then they use the money of the business, and then in 5 days' time, they will give it back to the business. But it's not a good thing. It's also fraud. So I think that is the two problems. Advice on the two problems: division of duties, always division of duties. The person writing up the transaction should not make the deposits. Check that the total, that is your second advice, check that the total of cash slips agree with the total of the deposit slips. Okay, that means that whatever you put in the CRJ must go to the bank. So it must be equal to the total of the deposit slips, and that 25,000 Rand just disappeared and we never take it to the bank. For the rolling of cash, create a policy for regular daily depositing of money. Regular daily depositing of money. The internal auditor must check that the cashier is depositing cash daily. So whatever you receive today must be tomorrow on the bank statement. Appoint a different person to do the depositing. That is also division of duties. Okay, that was the bank reconciliation question. It was not a difficult one. I just hope that you learn a little bit from all the information that I gave you there. The next one is a creditors recon. And sometimes you struggle a little bit with creditors recon, but really it's not necessary to struggle with it because it's very, very similar to the bank recon, just a little bit easier because there's only two people involved there. Okay, there we've got the question. That one comes from out of a 2016 question paper. It was question 1.3. Tanda Stores buys goods on credit from Minty suppliers. And I always say to the learners, make sure that you know who are you and who are the creditors. So I've got the question paper here, and then you write it there. Creditors ledger. If you're busy in the creditors ledger of Tanda Stores, this is the business. This is us, the business. Okay, Minty Suppliers. Minty Suppliers is our creditor. It means debit is minus, credit is plus, and there's the balance. And then we receive a statement from Minty Suppliers. We receive their statement. So they are the creditor. They are the creditor. And remember, the creditor is a plus minus. I'm going to explain it again. We buy from Minty Suppliers. We buy on credit from Minty Suppliers. So Minty Suppliers is our creditor. We owe Minty Suppliers money. That is in our books from our point of view. From Minty Suppliers' point of view, they say that Tanda Stores owes us money. So in their books, we are a debtor, and that's why the debit is a plus and the credit is a minus. Okay, let's go there. Normally, they ask you to do a creditor's ledger, and not normally in grade 11, they ask you to do a creditor's ledger and a reconciliation. In this case, they only ask us to do 2 columns. Remember, you test the same knowledge, you test the same information, it's just much easier to mark. It's not necessary to have a lot of marks. I see it's 14 marks there. And again, you say there, this is our books. This is our books, and this is the creditor. The creditor's statement. But again, there is minus on the debit, plus on the credit. This one is plus on the debit, minus on the credit. You must have that in mind. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly tick, because we must first tick, otherwise we don't know what is where. Okay, let me quickly tick. I just want to show you one thing. Can you see that the balance of 52,200? It's only after one transaction that the balance is there, 52,200. So ignore that transaction before that, because that was a transaction that happened in January, that a receipt that was not on the statement in January. So they first catch up on that transaction there, and then the balances were the same. Why is that? Because of that date. So they close off their books on the 25th of every month. So what happened after the 25th of the month is not on their statements. So you can see that in January, they also close off their statement on the 25th. And they also close it off on the 25th now. So that was only what happened, what they had to put on their statement after the 25th. And you start there, and where the balances are the same, 52,200. Okay, I've got an invoice of 44,200 there. The invoice number is 560, invoice 560. I've got the same invoice on top there. I hope you can see. I've got the same invoice, but the amounts are different. So I just make a little cross there. That cross means that we must look at that invoice, because the amounts are not the same. Then I've got okay, can I quickly say in a creditor's recon, you compare, if you are busy with creditors reconciliation, remember we've got our books, where we've got the creditors, I already said that, the creditors ledger, and we've got then we've got their books, where we receive the statement from them. Okay, in our books, the invoice with the number, you compare to the invoice with the number. It's the same number, because they sent us the invoice. We show the invoice in the CJ. We show the invoice in the CJ. They show it in the DJ, but it's the same invoice. When we send back something, we will send them a debit note. We will send a debit note that we put in the CAJ, and they will use a credit note that they put in the DAJ. So you compare a debit note in our books to a credit note on the statement. When we pay them, we will show a check in the CPJ, and they will show a receipt in the CRJ, because we pay the money, they receive the money. We will show discount received in the CPJ, because we received discount from them, and they will show discount allowed, because they allow discount to their debtors in the CRJ. So that is what we are, that's how you compare the two books to each other. Okay, so we are busy here and we already did the invoice, but there's a mistake somewhere. I've got debit note number 52 there on the minus side, and I've got credit note, don't look at the numbers, it will not be the same on the plus side. CAJ means that we owe less, so that one is 100% correct. It is on the minus side, and that one is wrong, so that one must move to that side. And remember, if it's on the wrong side and it must move, then you times it by 2, because the first 2,700 on the credit side will just cancel out the 2,700 on the debit side, and the second one will put it on the minus side. I've got a check here, 31350. I can tick that one. We can tick that one. I've got discount received, discount allowed. The amounts differ, so we can just do this there. I've got invoice, invoice that's not there. Can you see it's a funny number? The invoice number is funny, so that is wrong. We will see what they say there. I've got a check. I've got a check there on the 23rd. I've got a receipt there. Okay, that one we can tick 13,200. I've got an invoice 24,000. So it differs. The invoice is the same number, but the amounts differ. And then I've got 3 things after the 25th. After the 25th, that's not on the statement, but still in our books. So I've got 3 things there. And then I've got 1 invoice there that also have, okay, I've got an invoice there and I've got delivery charges there. That is not ticked. Let's read. Invoice number 996. Was for goods that Tanda stores brought from another supplier, Mondi. So we was not supposed to put it there. We was not supposed to put it on the account of Minty suppliers. So we made the mistake and we must correct the mistake. And it was 11,100 Rand for number A, 11,100. Remember, it's on the plus side. It's on the plus side. So we must minus it. We must minus that amount because we put it on the wrong. Account. Number B. Please stick to A, B, so you can make a little tick there because there was nothing there. Number B. Invoice 560 was correctly recorded on the statement. So remember 560. So this one is correct and this one is wrong. So you say 49,200. 49,200 minus 44,200. So there's a 5,000 Rand. We are too little. We are too little. So we must do it in our books and we must add 5,000 Rand in our books. So there is the 5,000 Rand for number B and there's nothing there. Number C. Invoice 571, remember that is the one that we saw there, was an error on the statement. This was for goods supplied to another business. So they made the same mistake. They made the same mistake. We made the mistake. They made the same mistake. So we must cancel that invoice, 28,800 in their books as a minus. 28,800. As a minus, and there was nothing wrong in our books, 28,800. Number D. The discount allowed on the 7th is correct as per the statement of account. The discount, there was the discount on the 7th, so that one is correct. So our discount on the 7th was wrong. So we gave ourselves too much discount, so it is a minus 3,300. The correct amount is 1650. That gives us 1650. And because we minus too much, we must add the 1650 in our books, 1650. For number D, 1650. Remember, I know it's discount, but remember our discount was too much. That's why we must add it there. Number E, Tanda stores omitted to deduct the trade discount allowed on invoice 590. 590, we omitted, so that one there is correct. 590 there is correct, and the amount was 21,600 is correct. Our amount is too much. So you just say 24,000 minus 21,600, that gives you 2,400 Rand. So that was a 10% trade discount that we didn't subtract. So we must minus 2,400 in our books. Please don't do this. Okay, don't do this. This is wrong. Because that means minus times a minus is a plus. So I don't want you to see that. You either do the minus or you put brackets there. Okay. Then number F, goods for 2007 were returned by Tanda stores on the 4th of February. We know that. We already know that the 2,700 was correct and that it was on the wrong side there. So for number F, we are going to say minus 5,400, or you can say minus 2,700, minus 2,700. You must show them double. You must show it double. Because the first 2,700, cancel the wrong one, and the second one, put it on the credit side. Number G, in terms of the contract, Minty Supplies charge a delivery fee to all their customers. There's the delivery fee. It's not on our books, in our books, so we can tick it there. There's nothing wrong with it, and we can put it in our books, 3,300 Rand, plus 3,300 Rand. Then number H, they say the statement was for transactions up till the 25th. That's why we've got all the other things that we must put in there. So first, we are going to show the 13,800. It was a check, so it will be a minus. If they receive it, it will show that we owe them less. The discount will show that we owe them less, 1380, and the invoice of 44,400 will show that we owe them 44,400 more. Those three things happened after the 25th. So that's why it was not on the statement. Now I go back. I prefer to go back. That one we correct. That one was correct. The discount we corrected. That one we corrected. That one we corrected. All of them are on the we corrected in those. The last three is on the reconciliation statement. If you go there, we did that one. Everything was done. That one was also done. So now we can see if it balanced. So we go back to our two columns and we just say for the creditors ledger. In our books, 110,170 minus the 11,100 plus the 5,000 plus the 1650 minus the 2,400 plus the delivery charges, and that gives us 106,620. 106,620, and then we go to that side and we say 111,600 minus 28,800, the mistake that they made, minus 5,400, the double of the 2,700, minus the check that we sent them, the discount that we subtracted, and the invoice that they didn't know about. That gives you 106,620. 106,620. So your recon was 100% correct. There's another question there. They just ask us there. An investigation into the transaction on the 2nd of February for invoice revealed that Pearl Fakude, the purchasing manager, ordered goods for herself. That 560 44,200. These goods were not taken into account. 560. But 560 was less in our books than it was there. So they ask state 2 internal control measures that the business can use to prevent similar incidents from happening in the future. Division of duties. Because it means that she ordered things and she didn't put it into account. Don't think about the difference in the amounts. It means that she ordered things and she didn't put it into the stock, and now they want us to know what to do. Division of duties or rotation of duties. Remember, in grade 12, it's not enough to only say that. In grade 12, you must say a little bit more. You must say she must not be the only person responsible for ordering and recording and paying whatsoever. Have special order forms to be signed by 2 people if you order something. Check documents clearly, regularly against deliveries. That's also a good thing. And do random stock counts to verify stock records. Random stock counts to verify stock records. Okay, so that was the creditors recon. Please make sure that you can do it. It's easy marks to gain. It's not a big thing. You just concentrate. When must you minus and when must you plus. Okay, and there's basically your, that is the big thing on your creditors recon, what to compare with what. And you also look at the dates. The dates helps a lot. The third topic that I'm going to do is VAT. They don't ask a lot of VAT in grade 12, also not in grade 11, but it's a good thing to understand VAT and to know what to do. Okay. There's 2 ways to do VAT. Let me just open the VAT quickly. There's the VAT question. In this case, they say superstores. This one comes from also from that 2016 question paper. They mention you're provided with information relating to superstores for the VAT period ended the 29th of February. So it was a 2-month period. The standard VAT rate is 14%. Remember, it changed with the budget to 15% the other day in I think early March or end of February, but all the school syllabus things will still be on 14%. That will only change later to 15%. We cannot work with 15% now in the school syllabus. Take into account the errors and omissions. Calculate the VAT amount that is either payable to or receivable from source. Please, when you're done, you must say if it's receivable or payable to source, and then we will also, there's also a thing there that we must look at. There's your information, but before we do that, I just want to quickly go and do a little bit of explaining of VAT. Okay, you can do it in 2 ways. I prefer this one because this is the easiest one. There's VAT input and there's VAT output. And at the end of the day, we say, what do we owe source? What do we owe source? We owe source output minus input. We owe source output minus input. Okay. Input is when the goods come in. Don't think about the money. The goods come in. And the goods go out. Okay. So this means that we bought something, we bought stock, we bought a service, we pay water, electricity, all those things. And this means that we sold some stock. So we bought from creditors. So whenever we bought from creditors, we will say that it is input tax. We sold to debtors. So whenever we sold to debtors, we will say that the output tax become more. Then we can go on like that, and we will say when we return things to the creditors, then I say I'm still busy with creditors, I'm still busy with input because I relate input to creditors. So now I will say that is input minus. That is input minus. Okay. Then when the debtors return goods, debtors sent back, I relate my debtors with my output. And that's why I will say that that is output minus. And so we can go on. I can say bad debts. Bad debts means that I'm not going to receive the output that I was supposed to receive, so I make the output less. Discount allowed. Discount allowed means that I gave discount to the debtor, so I'm not going to receive all the money that I was supposed to receive, so that make it less. Discount received. Means that I'm not going to pay the whole amount that I was supposed to pay for the input tax, so I will make my input tax less. The other way around is where you say VAT input and VAT output, and there you say bought, stock that we bought is positive there, stock that we sold is positive there, because I'm busy with creditors and debtors. Then they say if the debtor return goods, they put it there because they stay positive. And when we return to a creditor, they put it there because they keep it positive, so that you can see that that negative goes there as a positive. And that negative there goes there as a positive. Okay. I don't prefer this one. You can do whatever you want. I stick to the debtors and the creditors. So I'm going to do the activity that I'm going to do according to this. You are going to have the same answer. There will be 2 memos, an alternative memo. So just use whatever is the easiest for you to use. Okay. The VAT amounts was already calculated for us. Remember, if they give you including of VAT, and they gave you the VAT amount, sometimes they can put question marks there. You take that amount and you times it by 14 over 114, because that equals to your VAT amount if the included VAT amount was given to you. Amount due to SARS on the 1st of February was 216 Rand. Oh, sorry, 2016 was 44,800. That I'm going to use later. I'm just going to quickly do, I prefer a VAT input column. I do a VAT output column. And I say, remember, input is debtors. Output is, oh, no. Creditors, we bought from creditors. We sold to debtors, and then I keep that in mind. Sales 69,300. Sales is output 69,300. Credit purchases of stock 23520, 23520. Normal sales, normal purchases. Normal sales and normal purchases. Stock returned by debtors. I stick to the debtors on that side and I put the 6440 in brackets. It's a minus output or a plus input. Bad debts written off 4,900. It's debtors that cannot pay us, and that means that we are not going to receive the whole VAT output amount, so I put that one in brackets. The following errors and omissions were noted. Stock taken by the owner. was not been recorded. The cost price is 6,000 Rand. We must quickly calculate 6,000 times 14 over 100. That gives us 840 Rand. I just want to quickly go back there. Where do I put drawings? Where do I put drawings? I put drawings on this side. I put the drawings there as a minus because it feels for me that we bought the stock and we pay that input now. We cannot sell the stock anymore, so we haven't got the stock anymore, so we must make our input less. The amount was 840. Remember, it was excluding of VAT. That's why we calculate 14%. So we put the 840 on this side for drawings. VAT on sales was recorded incorrectly. Certain goods with a selling price of 50,000, excluding of VAT, should have been recorded as zero rated items. So that's sales. The sales of 564,300 was wrong. No, it was not wrong. It was not wrong. It was supposed to be minus 50,000. That gives you 564,300 minus 50,000. That gives you 514,300. And that was supposed to be times 14 over 114 times 14 over 114. Oh, no. That will not work out. 50,000 Rand of that was exclusive of VAT. The 50,000, no. Sorry. First we say 564,300 times 100. No, don't make it so difficult. Just say that 50,000 Rand times 14%, because it was exclusive of VAT. So 50,000 times 14%, that is 7,000 Rand too much output VAT. Because remember, the sales amount, that 564,300 was too much, but that was including of VAT. So we must first subtract that. Don't worry about that. Just do this. So the output VAT was 7,000 Rand too much, and we minus the 7,000 there. We just minus the 7,000 there. VAT on discount granted to debtors. I'm still busy with the debtors, so I put my 19152 inclusive, 19152 inclusive of VAT times 14 divided by 114. That gives me 2352, and I minus the 2352 there. Okay, so on this side my input is 23,520 minus 840. That gives me 22680. 22680. On that side, I start with 69,300. I minus 6440. I minus 4,900. I minus the 7,000, and I minus 2352. That gives me 48608. 48608. Please don't forget about the amount that we owe SARS on the 1st of February. And because we owe them the amount, that amount you add, you start with that amount. So now we can say, what is the amount that we owe SARS? We owe SARS 44,800 plus output 48608 minus input 22680, and the amount that we owe SARS at the end of February is 44,800 plus 48608 minus 22680, and that amount is 70728. That is the amount. And when you write it down, 70728, you say payable to SARS. And then they ask, they say there 1.2.2, The internal auditor discovered that the owner used the VAT collected from customers to pay salaries and bonuses. Therefore, he could not meet the VAT deadline. What comment would you offer, Nelson, concerning this practice? And I've got the memo here, and you only say there that she cannot do that. She cannot do that. I just want to quickly show you the memo. I want to show you this VAT calculation. Can you see what happened here? They start with that amount that we owe SARS on the output side. That is the amount that we owe SARS on the output side. Then they don't show any negatives. Can you see there? They only show positives, and there's the balance at the end of the day. 70728, the balance at the end of the day. Owe SARS on the 1st of February, and that is on the last day of February. So basically, just want to see what was the question. Yeah, on the 29th of February that we owe SARS. So you can see there they only work with positives. You can also do a calculation like that, but this is very risky because you must clearly think, when do I minus, when do I plus? I prefer 2 columns like this. Output and input, work with the minuses, just concentrate that you stick to the debtors on the output side, you stick to the creditors on the input side to know exactly what is minus. Or this one, where there's only positives, and then you work it like that, because this is very, very risky. Let's quickly look at that information there. Nelson must keep accurate record of VAT, and make timely submissions to SARS. Timely submissions to SARS for the following reasons. It's illegal or unethical business practice or fraud. If you don't pay them on time, the business is an agent of SARS, money collected on behalf of SARS. It's not your money. Lots of people in real businesses put that money aside in a different account because otherwise, because they don't want to use it. They will be liable for penalties and for fines. Grade 12s, thank you very much. I really hope that it helped the bank recon, the creditors recon, and the VAT. Next time we will go on with the syllabus, but I really hope that you learned something today. Thank you. Bye-bye.